Right. So we have it. Doing the DF03 rear diff, which class as a mod. We have, where is it? Front out drives. These are one piece, not like the, don't know why they bothered putting two piece in the back with a plastic insert. If you've melted it, which is usually why people come to this stage, you need new diff plate. I prefer running the Schumacher tungsten carbide. I've tried the silicon nitride or the ceramic, I don't know, in at the minute, and I don't like them. They seem to slip fairly easy. What I've been doing, also I won't anyway. Whereas if you've got the dark impact and you've got the original spare gear and diff, the DF03 RA spare kit has different size spares in it. So if you have melted it, to me, you may as well get the RA, which is the same chassis, same gearbox, and get some different size spares. Spare gears, I think there's 75, 78, is that right? There's a 78, 82, there's top of my head. Also got new bearings and new thrust washers and a new screw, which I don't know whether I actually need, but got one anyway. Some silicone, diff lube. Make sure you put diff in the centre if you're googling that, and some Moly grease for the thrust bearings. Don't want to get that on your balls. Anyway, so let's pretend you've melted it. So yeah, I know I could do some Japanese industry standard screwdrivers, but I haven't. So it's on my list. What Santa will bring me this year. So fairly easy to get out. It's not like something like the Fox where you have to actually dismantle the whole car. You take the rear bumper thing off. Put that in there so we don't lose it. Take the rear diff cover off. Just take it a bit. Slide down one. There we go. This one. Professional YouTubers will probably fast forward this bit. I don't have editing software, so you just have to put me a cup of tea or something. Right, so that's that off, and it pretty much comes out. You can't see easier than that, really, to be honest. Leave that out of the way. So now we have the diff out. If you've done this, you probably have this all melted and this the other, and yeah, pretty much a scrapper. What this is, these are actually racing ones, which are hardened anyway. As you can see from that one, it's had a bit of a hard life. This has run, like I said on the other video, I think I've run a 5S LiPo with a 5700 kV castle on it at one point. So we speed run, and it took it. So as you can see, it's not melted. It's alright. So first thing I do, take the bearings off. That one comes off. Now you have got wee shims in there. You put the shims to the side. I'm discarding the bearings because I've got a new set there. Let's say the new bearings are there. With it being damaged, it's actually a bit stuck there. I really probably should have done this. Clean this up before. A bit of a persuasion. There we go. Right, the old bearings. Actually don't feel too bad, but I've got new ones. So new ones aren't that expensive. So I've got the two shims there. So it ends up like that. So need a 1.5 driver. I would invest in a set of them moving into RCs. He said not getting the GIS screwdrivers, but anyway. Then unscrew that. see the diff plates. As I say, I've not long rebuilt this. I was trying the silicon carbide or ceramic balls in it, but I just don't like them. I don't really like them, to be honest. Here we have the RA kit, which I say is the 51369. That gives you the as you can see, it's exactly the same. Exactly the same. So what we're going to do, effectively, we're building it from scratch. So we have the new output shafts, Diff drives. So these are the fronts. I don't think I've got any of those standard rears which Tamiya supply in the kit. But effectively that bit is plastic, and it's a separate plastic bit that goes on, which wobbles and causes all kind of problems. So here we are. So we have that one. We have the bearing, which goes in there. We have these diff plates. Now, in the manual for the rear, it tells you to glue these. Well, I take it tells you to glue it because of the daft plastic inserty bits. If you have a look at what it says on the manual about the fronts, it says you don't need to glue the fronts. He says track his memory. These ones, you effectively glue them on, so to speak, with a bit of the silicone. Lube. Screwdriver, cleaned. Give it a bit of a wipe. Again. And just a couple of wee dabs on it. Nothing major. Just a couple of wee dabs. It's just to hold it into position while you clamp it together, really. After that, the screw holds it together, clamping on the balls. So what do we do next? So that's that one. So now what I'd normally do is get the lid, get the balls, so I don't know, I can't remember if I did that or not. The tungsten ones are on. And you've only, it's a 12 pack and you only run 10, so do 5, you get one free. And that's a slogan to use, isn't it? There you go. So there we go, take 2 out. So we end up chasing them around the floor like earrings. Right, so that's that in there. One fall out then. There we go. So there's 10 in there. A scoop. Oh. So this was actually something that the Trish did on rebuilding the Schumacher lay-down diff, which I have as well. So it just makes it life a lot easier, to be honest. So we have the other one, the other side, so we'll do that now. Yeah. Goes on there. Get the other diff plate. Now the advantage as well of not gluing these, which may be frowned upon, I don't know, but if you come to rebuild it and you get a groove in there where the balls are harder than the metal, so they groove the metal rather than the balls wearing, you can flip them around. If I've had it before where you can, where it's not, the groove isn't that deep, but if you feel with your nail and you can feel a groove on this side where it's kind of indented through, then it's a scrapper. Sometimes you can get away with it. It depends how badly worn it is. But as I say, if you've melted it, because you've followed the manual and done everything as per, then these will be glued on, so you can't really use them again. Yeah, I suppose you probably could, but they're all bent and everything, wouldn't you, if you fought with them to try and get them off. So that's that one. That one then can sit in there. Oh. Right, so that's that one. So I'll only put a bit of silicone on there. Just a wee wipe rather than piling it in like a gearboxy kind of thing. Just to get enough on. Put that on there. Now what you can do at this point is put a bearing on. I'll show you why in a sec. So we can slide on the shim, slide on a new bearing, and then you put it in there. Stops it falling over, and use it for quite handy these, but again, I'm only about 10 or something. So then stick your balls on it. You don't want to over grease them, but obviously you don't. That's the grease, lube, silicone. I've seen a few where they've said they've just put normal grease in and they've been alright. I'm not really a fan of that. Never tried it. Schumacher was the inventor of the ball diff 40 years ago, and it hasn't changed much since. So if they make stuff for it, this is what they tell you to do with it. Let me go with them. Right. Skip it. Fast forward. So we have more on there. Again, not loads. Rub. There you go. Right, so I've got my new screws. I'll put them in. Generally, I think you probably need these, to be honest. It's merely using these just because I have them. My God, I passed the parcel. Right, so screw that. So I think that's the diff finished with. Just don't need that anymore. Got Moly grease. Pull that out instead. Right, so got that. What I've not got is the spring. That's probably something I should have got. Everything but the spring. Push that in there. To steal the spring off this one. Springs on this side. Alright, yes. Again, it's probably done this before because everything's jammed up with it. Definitely needed doing. As you can see, they weren't glued on. So you should just pop off. I actually could have used them again. Absolutely nothing up with them. Not even a groove in them. Anyway, that's the spring. Wash that in there. And sometimes you're supposed to squeeze them just to get them, get the stretch out of them. Squeeze them with a pair of pliers, because what can happen is when you bolt it together, it relaxes, and then you get a bit of a, it backs off a little bit. That's obviously, this spring is 15-year-old, so yeah, I really probably should have done it. Or did we place it last time? I think we placed it last time, to be honest. Right, so that's that in there. Spin it over. It's a little fun bit. Okay. Looks like a bit of this. Bearing on and a shim. Shim. The ring. See, screw's not in this yet because we have thrust bearings. Yeah, 2 packs. So they come with 2-pack from RC Bearings. That's the code for them. What I normally do, the thrust bearings, build it up on the screw. Remember what it says in the manual. Schumacher bearings don't come caged in the ones I've got. So they're actually these are a bit more easier to do. So again, pretty similar to the ball bearing, the ball diff. Scrape a bit of Moly grease on. And this stuff is slippy and it's high impact, which is why I use it on this. That's that one. A little bit just in there. I'll put enough on, but not too much, because I just don't want it flying everywhere. It is quite thick grease. I still don't want it anywhere near the diff balls. That's that. Anyone doesn't know what the thrust bearing is for, it's so that can spin without it unscrewing. Right, so this is where you need 3 hands. Slide it in through there. Hopefully it grabs. Nope. Might need a bit of a hand. Another 1.5mm driver. Give that a wee shove on that side. There we go, that's grabbed it. I think you can go off the feel. The other one is you put your 1.5 driver, that one. Again, that's actually what it tells you in the manual. And the driver on that side, that's going to have to be a screwdriver. The driver fitted in here, screwdriver that one. If you can't, just about turn that, so I'll give it another. We're not talking, we're talking that much. Give it another spin, just to kind of bed it in a little bit. And try and turn it again. I can't turn that. Oh, I did a little bit. A little bit. The tiniest little bit. Nice. I've I've heard people saying to wind it all the way up as much as you can, give it a turn and back it off. That's a one-way ticket because that's tightened up too much. That's my opinion. I can't turn that now. So that to me is strong enough. It's not gritty, nice and smooth. So then, get the car back. There. It's going to be tighter now. Slot wasn't there. Get that off there. Doesn't look like it's going to go in. Push this in. That one there. What I tend to do is just do a couple of threads on each one, just to make sure it's in, make sure it's all settled nicely. It's all nicely meshed up. Click in there. Generally, if there's more than one screw, what you don't want it to do is kind of sit kind of coggled over one way. Do opposites. Like tighten up a cylinder head. For those of you. That's that. The bumper guard. Rear bumper. And a couple of threads on one and the other. Just try and get it to seat nice. And that's that. Oh, well, nearly. Deliberate mistake. Forgot to put the foams in. So yeah, rewind, pretend to put them in. That'll be that. So there you have it. That's rebuilding the rear def on a dark impact. Probably should have done the vid 10 years ago. Because I don't see too much about them. So these are the year racing ones. They've done me great like. Any questions, or if you disagree with anything or add anything, let me know. Thank you very much.